Hi guys, Ali Taylor here, and today I'm going to show you how to turn your body correctly during your golf swing. Right then guys, turning your body correctly in the golf swing is such an important movement, not only for swinging the club on the correct path, giving you a good attack angle, but also, just everything you need to create power, speed. So if you're looking to hit longer and straighter shots, getting that body turning correctly is absolutely essential. So as I move back away from the camera, just so we can see the whole movement, a lot of golfers are very, I don't know whether knowledgeable is maybe the right word, but they understand the fact that the body needs to turn, and they understand, because there's a lot of information out there about, my hips should turn a certain amount, my shoulders should turn, obviously my chest needs to turn, how much, do my knees move around? So I think the really important thing to understand is that actually how you use the ground correctly in order to get your body turning. Because if you weren't connected to the ground at all, you would actually find it incredibly difficult to turn. And the reason being, we want a little bit of interaction with the turf. So what I want you to do is actually initially just get the club out of the way, and I want you to stand feet about shoulder width in a nice kind of athletic position. And what I want you to pay attention to is kind of where the weight is in your feet, left and right, but also kind of towards the toes or the heels of your feet. So as you stand normally, you'll probably feel that your weight's very 50-50 and very much over the arches of the feet, because that's where we've naturally got balance. But what I want you to try for me initially is I want you to try and push your weight forward in your left foot and back in your right foot. So straight away there, as I moved the weight, we started to see how my knees moved, my hips moved, and the more of that I exaggerate, then the more my body turns. Okay? And then obviously if I went the other way on the way down and moved my weight in my right foot forward and back in my left foot, now that's interesting, isn't it? And I think this is something that we learn very young as children. Now, I'm going to suggest you try this, but if anybody falls over trying this, I'm taking no responsibility. You need to work out whether you can do this yourself. So what I want you to try is get into a pretty much golf posture, and I want you to jump and turn 180 degrees so you're facing the opposite direction, and I want you to feel what the weight does in your feet. And again. Now I can definitely feel when I do that in order to jump, I actually push down into the ground, I feel my weight go forward in my left foot, back in my right, and then very quickly as I push down into the ground, I feel the weight change direction. So that's how we're going to create a good turn, and it's how we're going to create rotational speed. Now, certainly when you look at men and women who play other rotational sports, particularly who are elite at this level, you tend to see anybody who's got huge rotational speed in their actual sport that they do, they're able to transfer that into golf incredibly well. So you look at guys, the Titleist Performance Institute did a great piece probably 4 or 5 years ago with a javelin thrower, and his ability to rotate his body through that speed was massive, and he hit driver about 330 yards. So I think that ability and understanding how you can move that weight around your feet to get you to actually turn your body better becomes huge. Now, I actually quite like the jumping drill. So I always think, for me, if I'm using the ground correctly, I should be able to go full 360. So let's see if I can do it while I'm on camera. So I can feel what my weight's doing. Not quite. Now, I would practice that. Now, what I would also say is your ability to accelerate the body also becomes very important with how quickly you can slow it down. So when I do this jumping drill, I would go 180, land and instantly come back. but really get a feel for how that weight's moving in the feet. Now, it's great being able to do it just as jumping, but then can we do it when we swing the golf club? So we're going to set up, we can feel where the weight would be, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to do it quite slowly to begin with, just to heighten my awareness levels. So from there, I'm going to go weight forward, left foot, back in my right foot. Now that feels like my body's really turned, probably a bit more than normal. And then can I reverse that movement on the way down? And even there, probably downswing wasn't that slow, but let's try that a little bit slower again. And it is amazing for me, when you get that feeling of the weight moving correctly in your feet, how easy the turn is and how powerful everything feels. So let's put a little bit of speed back into that. That feels really, really good. So again, look at one down the line. Just working on weight forward, left, back into that right heel. And then as I swing down, I'm going to move slightly left and then into the left heel and the right toe. Now for me, so many comments, particularly when guys come to see me about, I don't feel my body turns correctly. And I think the amount of turn or rotation you can get is very, very dependent on how your body works. So there's not a perfect way of doing it. But if you can certainly get that feel as to how you're moving the weight around in your feet, you will notice a massive difference in how that body turns. Certainly when you video yourself, you'll see the club in some brilliant positions as well without trying to place the club into those positions. But what you'll really notice is lots of speed, lots of power. If those first few shots aren't quite as good as you want, don't panic. Like I said, do lots and lots of practice swings without the ball. Ease your way in, even if you need to slow it down a little to begin with. Keep that awareness just on how the weight's moving in your feet. And the better that movement can be, the better your body's going to turn and the more good golf shots you're going to hit. So guys, hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, like and share it, comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. If you've enjoyed the video and you don't subscribe already, please consider clicking the button, ringing the notification bell, then you find out whenever I drop a new video, which currently is a lot every single day while we're in isolation. I'm putting some content out for you guys. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.